back in there a good ways. All right, guys, welcome back to Southern Extreme TV. This is part 2 of our Ohio trip. Been keeping up with the channel. One of the last videos you've seen, I had a really good buck come into bow range while I was on the ground. Unfortunately, deer was at about 45 yards. I shot him for about 50. He ducked about 3 to 4 inches and ultimately, which is probably a good thing that he ducked, and nicked his back. Deer took off running, seen a couple more bucks, but we definitely been in them. That same morning, my uncle seen a really good deer as well, hunting very close to the place that my dad was hunting yesterday afternoon when he seen a shooter buck as well. So long story short, we're going back into the same areas. Dad and John are going in to hunt their places. I'm going to go back in and hunt off the ground where I was at, just because I seen so many bucks working through that area. So we're on our way there now. Hopefully the deer action is going to stay good for us. The temperature's right, the moon phase is right, everything is right for us. Hopefully we shoot straight and somebody gets a big buck on the ground. Farmers are here combining this corn that I'm hunting in behind. I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. We'll see what happens. I shot at a buck yesterday morning. After replaying the footage, originally I thought that the deer was at about 45 yards and I shot him for 50. He was actually at 50. He just ducked my arrow. Hunted in this same area last night, but the farmer whose private property joins this public was combining his corn yesterday afternoon all the way up to about an hour before dark. So I come back in here this morning just because there was 4 different bucks that came in, 2 spikes, a small 8-point, and then that buck that I shot at. The temperature today is going to stay pretty consistent. It's about 43 degrees, 41 degrees right now. It's supposed to drop to right around 40, 39, 40, right when the sun starts to come up. But then the high today is only like 47, so probably means we got some good cloud cover, which I've killed a lot of deer on cloudy days. Wind is almost non-existent, so I'm hoping I'll be able to maybe hear these deer coming a little bit. I had that 8-pointer yesterday morning sneak up behind me. I had no idea he was there until he was literally right here over my shoulder. He poked his head around that tree right there. So it's just now really cracking daylight. It's 7:30 and it's just now to the point to where I could probably shoot a deer at 30 yards. So it's definitely cloudy this morning. The good news, I think that's going to have these deer up on their feet and moving a good bit. I'm still nervous about what that cut corn is going to do to this area. It's either going to force these deer to come down here into this creek bottom where I'm at, or it's going to force those deer to another piece of property. So I think it's going to be one of them where it's either a home run or a strikeout. big buck, guys. He's way in there though. He was coming from my left, walking to the right. Shoot. Obviously you guys can tell the daggum combine started. So I doubt he's gonna come this direction. I don't see him anymore. I was trying to get my camera equipment set up. Shoot. He was gaining, he was moving along pretty good. Oh, right there he is. He's back in there a good ways. I can't tell how big he is. I don't think he's as big as I thought. He moved to the right just a little bit, I think. Still see his horns right there. Can't tell where he's moving. He's going back to the left. It's not a bad deer, I don't think. When he was walking that way, he didn't look that bad. He's bristled up, guys. I think he's gonna come in. come walking around right there. He was good and bristled up. This combine's just making it so dang hard to. He's just hanging out right there. He ain't going nowhere. He's got a doe. He just took off running at something. He's going back. He's going back from the left to the right now. I wonder if he's got a doe or something. He's looking behind him. So right now he's probably 100 yards back in there. He's not even looking at me. He's focused on something behind him. I don't know what that is. I'm telling you, when he walked back to the left, he like ran at something, like he was trying to run a small buck off. But then he turned around and went back to the right. But I hadn't seen any other deer moving through there. Well, guys, obviously, or hopefully y'all can hear his combine running. It's right at 11 o'clock. It's been about an hour since I've seen that deer. Basically, he was not far from the lane that I shot at that deer yesterday, but he was way deeper back into that thick stuff. Instead of walking the edge of it, he was actually down in there, and I don't know if he had a doe with him or what was going on, but he was not coming out of there for whatever reason. Definitely a morning spot, and definitely a spot I'm going to probably hunt unless something crazy happens. I'm going to be in this area just about every morning. I do want to go look at one spot for this afternoon because I can't come back in here in the afternoon. I've hunted it twice. I haven't seen any deer, and both mornings I've hunted, I've seen what I think is a good deer. I mean, he was definitely outside his ears. Not a giant for Ohio by any stretch, but a buck that was, personally, I think that deer come into rattling if he didn't have a doe. I mean, it was maybe 10 minutes after I had rattled and this combine started, and then he came up and he was definitely all bristled up and feeling it. I just don't know if he, I don't know if he was coming, if he was with a doe. He was just acting funny, but I'm gonna pack up, go meet up with Dad and John. Wind's blowing a little bit. You can tell it's trying to blow. This warmer front that pushed in last night, for whatever reason, it's trying to push it out. The temperature actually dropped as I was sitting here this morning, which as soon as that temperature really started to drop and I really started to get cold, that's when all of a sudden the deer movement picked up. Dad's seen a good 8-point this morning, pushing a 4-pointer off of a field, and that's really what sparked me to bang them horns together. I think that's something that I'm going to try to keep doing pretty consistent, even this afternoon, especially going into a new area. At least just clang them together a couple times and just try to get that buck, try to get a buck to come in. So I'm going to get everything packed up, go do some scouting, try to find a good afternoon spot. I think I'm going to go higher, closer to some hardwoods, a little bit closer to where Dad and John's hunting. They've seen potentially 2, I know of, potentially 3 shooters over in that area, and twice those deer were seen in the afternoons, I think. So I definitely need to get over in that area for this afternoon set, and I need to go find me a good spot to set up at. So guys, a little bit of a punch right in the old pecker spot that I've been hunting. There's a truck parked at it, and it's a little odd. It's a truck from Pennsylvania parked on a private lot going into public, because the only way you can get in there and hunt the spot that I wanted to get to is if you get dropped off. So that literally has ruined everything that I had planned. My backup plan, I go to get set up there, and there's a truck parked. It's part of public, man. It just sucks. People everywhere. Alright guys, good morning. Super early. Got up really early so I could try to beat this dude from Pennsylvania to this spot. And he's not in here, so I'm gonna take my time going out this creek bottom. They've got that big cornfield cut, so I can't walk the edge yet. Public goes right on the borderline of that cornfield, and what I don't want to do is get in that field and walk around this backside, because there's a good chance there's deer on the backside of this field. So I'm gonna walk this little creek bottom all the way to my spot. Past 2 mornings, I've seen shooter bucks in here, so fingers crossed I can see another one. Well, I know you guys can't really see me all that well, but I just had a guy come walking by. I turned my spotlight on and so he could see me, but he never slowed down. He didn't pay me no mind. He just kept walking. And this public land is not for everybody. It's not for me, I can tell you that. It sucks. I've been in here for about an hour. And then he comes walking through about 15 minutes before shooting light. Right in the area that that big buck came from yesterday. Jesus Christ. Alrighty guys, getting ready to hike a stand back into a new spot that we found. Basically we got this little hidden pocket. Well, it's not really all that hidden, but it's hidden for what I think most people would consider to be hidden from a public standpoint. So we were lucky enough to find it. There's somebody whistling. I don't know who's whistling. But we found a really good piece. Basically, we'll go right up this ridge here. Found a couple fresh scrapes, a lot of horned trees. So we're gonna take off up this little logging road and get up on top, take the climbing stand in, and fingers crossed, hopefully we can get it done. We'll see if we can get lucky. Well guys, we just had a rundown with a guy that was hunting. Had no idea he was in the area. He was right off the truck, right off the parking lot. I felt bad because his vehicle's parked on the main highway, which he had to walk across like a big terrace to get to where he's at. And he said, you know, he was like, I don't know how to get to this little side road that I came in on. So, you know, I told him how to get to it and everything, and super nice guy. Asked me what direction I was going, and just told him I was going pretty deep back up on top of these ridges. And said that, you know, told him I was running late. I had to drop my dad and my uncle off. He was super understanding and told me to go on back through here and do what I gotta do. Just a really, 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 really nice guy. That's what, you know, those are the interactions that make you think that coming and hunting public in different areas is worth it. Guys, I think I hear a buck horning a tree. I can't tell. There was 2 squirrels. Ran up and started barking over on this other ridge. Whatever reason, these squirrels around here, not like the squirrels back home. The squirrels back home, they will bark at just anything. Doesn't have to be. Sometimes they don't even have to see anything. But these squirrels here, like every single time that they've started barking, we have seen another animal. A coyote, a deer. I swear, I could hear hear limbs slapping together. Like a buck was over on that ridge horning a tree. And that's up there where all those fresh scrapes and horn trees are at. Well guys, that is it for today's video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Let's try this one more time. That's it guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Seen a lot of deer the past couple of days, just only seen that one real shooter buck. Moved into this new area, and I'm gonna come back in the morning, see what's going on, and hopefully we can see the buck that's laying down all this sign up here on top of this hill. So with that being said guys, we got a couple more days here in Ohio. We still got time to put a good deer on the ground, so fingers crossed. Hopefully Dad and John will have one come by. Maybe I'll get lucky on this ridge top. We'll see what happens. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. Hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to grow it to 100,000 subscribers. And I'll see you guys next time.